"I haven't seen her," Mary said. "Do come and sit down. The drop isn't scheduled till noon, and I doubt very much that they'll get her off by then, particularly if Gilchrist makes another speech." She draped her coat over the back of her own chair and set the shopping bag full of parcels on the floor by her feet. "I do hope this doesn't go all day. I must pick up my great-nephew Colin at the Underground station at 3. He's coming in on the tube." She rummaged in her shopping bag. "My niece Deirdre is off to Kent for the holidays and asked me to look after him. I do hope it doesn't rain the entire time he's here," she said, still rummaging. "He's 12. Nice boy, very bright, though he has the most wretched vocabulary. Everything is either necrotic or apocalyptic. And Deirdre allows him entirely too many sweets." She continued to dig through the contents of the shopping bag. "I got this for him for Christmas." She hauled up a narrow red and green striped box. "I'd hoped to get the rest of my shopping done before I came here, but it was pouring rain, and I can only tolerate that ghastly digital carillon music on the high street for brief intervals." She opened the box and folded back the tissue. "I've no idea what 12-year-old boys are wearing these days, but mufflers are timeless, don't you think, James? James?" He turned from where he had been staring blindly at the display screens. "What?" "I said, mufflers are always an appropriate Christmas gift for boys, don't you think?" He looked at the muffler she was holding up for his inspection. It was of dark grey plaid wool. He would not have been caught dead in it when he was a boy, and that had been 50 years ago. "Yes," he said, and turned back to the thin glass. "What is it, James? Is something wrong?" Latimer picked up a small brass-bound casket and then looked vaguely around as if he had forgotten what he intended to do with it. Montoya glanced impatiently at her digital. "Where's Gilchrist?" Dunworthy said. "He went through there," Mary said, pointing at a door on the far side of the net. "He orated on medieval's place in history, talked to Kivrin for a bit, the tech ran some tests, and then Gilchrist and Kivrin went through that door. I assume he's still in there with her, getting her ready." "Getting her ready?" Dunworthy muttered. "James, do come and sit down and tell me what's wrong," she said, jamming the muffler back in its box and stuffing it into the shopping bag. "And where you've been. I expected you to be here when I arrived. After all, Kivrin's your favourite pupil." "I was trying to reach the head of the history faculty," Dunworthy said, looking at the display screens. "Basingame? I thought he was off somewhere on Christmas vac." "He is, and Gilchrist manoeuvred to be appointed acting head in his absence, so he could get the Middle Ages open to time travel. He rescinded the blanket ranking of 10 and arbitrarily assigned rankings to each century. Do you know what he assigned the 1300s? A 6. A 6. If Basingame had been here, he'd never have allowed it. But the man's nowhere to be found." He looked hopefully at Mary. "You don't know where he is, do you?" "No," she said. "Somewhere in Scotland, I think." "Somewhere in Scotland," he said bitterly, "and meanwhile Gilchrist is sending Kivrin into a century which is clearly a 10, a century which had scrofula and the plague and burned Joan of Arc at the stake." He looked at Badri, who was speaking into the console's ear now. "You said Badri ran tests. What were they? A coordinates check? A field projection?" "I don't know." She waved vaguely at the screens with their constantly changing matrices and columns of figures. "I'm only a doctor, not a net technician. I thought I recognized the technician. He's from Balliol, isn't he?" Dunworthy nodded. "He's the best tech Balliol has," he said, watching Badri, who was tapping the